All right. So, hi, my name is Rocio. Thank you both for being here today and being willing to share your story. So, the prompt that you both chose today, so what is your connection to Juneteenth?
So I'm being an African-American woman who grew up in the Northeast, and actually in Connecticut. Juneteenth wasn't necessarily something that we learned about or that my family celebrated, but as I got out into the world and was, connected with more people actually from the South, more Black Americans from the South, I got to understand that it was something that tons of people celebrated. And then I love that just a few years ago, it kind of rose to national consciousness, and now there's celebrations and there's companies that give people the day off, and there's lots more understanding and learning about it. So I just love that it's bubbled up to that.
And for me, so I'm a white woman who grew up in Idaho, where Juneteenth was definitely not discussed. It was nothing that was on my radar at all until, I don't even know when, if it was in college or when I moved to California. But as a queer person, stories of liberation and kind of liberation in its, there are, it's like cycles of liberation. So it isn't like Juneteenth happened and everything's good, but the idea that Juneteenth was an important moment in the life cycle of liberation for Black people really speaks to me. Because as a queer person, there's no one moment when, we had Stonewall and now everything is fine. So it's exciting to be able to celebrate in community as an ally, especially in a relationship with a Black woman, where it's like, I feel like an ally plus, because it's personal to me to think about the liberation of Black people as integral in the liberation of all people.
Yeah, and I love that as Juneteenth celebrations have started to pop up, that there are these amazing inclusive spaces that are open to all folks, who identify all different ways. And I love walking down the street, and there's organizations and nonprofits that speak to all aspects of life as a Black person and allies of Black people. So I just love that it's just continued to be a way that people can connect, and it's not about separateness, it's about a coming together of communities and identities and families. So it's great.
For sure, I love that. And I would say also, Juneteenth is this other thing that is simultaneously, so it's full of hope and also a disappointment. It's the hope-disappointment thing that it wasn't like the law changed and suddenly everyone was free. It took years for the message that people have been living in slavery for so much longer than they needed to, and there's something so disappointing in that, and so much hope at the same time that message kept going and going and going finally, so that everyone could understand that was the case. Now that, again, is just the beginning of everything, but it is such a deeply important thing to understand that this is ongoing. It is ongoing work forever and ever if we truly are committed to liberation for everybody.
And that's a great point about what recognizing Juneteenth and celebrating it does is cause us to look back and understand the complicated history of it. And to your point about the fact that there were people who were still living enslaved and didn't need to be, and but there is celebration and there is space to hold those two realities, the disappointment, but also the joy and the coming together. And I just love that Juneteenth is celebrated by families all over the country with barbecues and a connection of family and community. And there is that joy, but also, to your point, there's the acknowledgement of the history and kind of where it came from. Yeah.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Well, thank you both for being part of this wonderful celebration and sharing your story. Any other last words?
Well, one of the things I was actually thinking about today is that, especially being a queer couple, is that I love that Juneteenth is during June, which is also Pride Month. So I get to celebrate two very important aspects of my identity and combine those and be in celebrations where I can just really appreciate and be celebrated for all of me. So I love June.
Yay, happy Pride!
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride and happy Juneteenth.
Oh, thank you.
We have all received a gift, an expected or anticipated gift for a birthday, anniversary, retirement. Each time we receive that gift, whether it meets our expectation, we feel something. Happy, sad, disappointed. The gifts that are unexpected, unconditional, small or large, have the potential of changing the trajectory of a life. Someone pays for your groceries when you're out of money, leaves you a big tip just when you think you can't afford your rent. Those are the gifts that ease our fears, make us grateful, and want to help others. This is a space where we share how those gifts, big or small, make a difference and change our lives. Welcome to the Starfish Connection.